Welcome, Exiles, to the third character of the league, and hopefully the most successful one today. It is a DeadEye, and we are doing Eye of Winter trapping. The idea here is we spam a bunch of traps, they shoot out Eye of Winters, we get chain from DeadEye, we get not Assassin's Mark, just Mark Effect for our Sniper's Mark, and then we also benefit from Tailwind, so we throw traps faster, we move faster, and then we also went for the Gale Force. I'm trying it out, so that way, normally it's hard to stack a lot of HP, a lot of EHP with Trappers, so you want to get additional defensive layers where you can, like Phase Acro and Acro. I also went for the Gale Force because I think 30% less damage taken if I'm chucking a bunch of traps out, because we stack up the Tailwind, the Gale Force to 10. It can feel pretty helpful in making us feel a lot more tanky, even though we can't have the most HP on our gear. Now for setup, this is something I've always wanted to do and never was really able to do, because Badge of the Brotherhood previously was a very expensive rare item. It was like 50x, 40x at the time, and previously I wanted to do a Badge of the Brotherhood with traps because of the charged trap support. It gives 10% throw speed per frenzy and 15% multi per power charge, which means it's extremely effective if you can stack a lot of power charges and frenzy charges. So what I'm doing here is I'm going for dual void batteries, a power charge corrupted rare helmet that I bought off the market for like 20C or something, and that way we get up to 9 power charges with the power charges on the tree, which gives us 9 frenzy as well. This means from this support alone, we're getting about 150 crit multi, or close to it, and almost 100% trap throw speed, which is a lot, not also including the throw speed we're going to get from being Architect's Hands, which you pretty much want to do if you're playing a trap build. Architect's Hands just give you so much trap throw speed, it really feels quite good. Mix all that with DeadEye, we really throw traps out, we just chuck them out fast. You'll see what I'm talking about when we're mapping, that we create a lot of traps. And then we have some nice scaling from the crit, from the power charges, as well as the spell damage from the void batteries. So that's the build concept. And then we're also, of course, using Tinker Skin because we don't have any other easy, good access to phasing. This is a really great option, and it gives us a ton of sustain. And it's pretty much just what our sustain is built around: the recover 100 life on trap trigger and 50 energy shield on trap trigger. That allows us to not have mana problems. Eventually we'd like to upgrade these to slave drivers, but those are really expensive, and these are doing just fine for us for now. If we get this upgrade to slave drivers, we could even go for like a glorious vanity for getting a really actually nice EHP pool, because we can get a lot more ES at that point. Stuff like that would be nice. I'll hover over the other gear quickly. It's nothing too crazy, just some basically rares to fix our life and res, a zero step for the dodge and life. This is a feel good, easy boot choice. And then Malachi's Artifice. I'm hopping on the DPS train. I want an extra 50 pen for the ring slot. I decided, you know what, it's worth it. We have a whole bunch of cast speed, a whole bunch of just speed in general, so it doesn't feel bad to be in a map with 9 frenzies, tailwind, extra cast speed from void batteries, and to put down our Orbistorms, our Hydrosphere, and then our Sniper's Mark is like super fast cast, so it's a little awkward for bosses because we have to do like 3 things, but we have a lot of cast speed and a lot of speed in general, so we can put them down quickly. And one thing I want to note that I've decided to do, which this is a showcase to my laziness, and I'm tired of dying to ailments, which is to basically pick every ailment I don't have immunity to, like bleeding for example, and set up a flask that is use when bleeding with remove bleed. And I did this for bleed, I did it for poison, I did it for ignite, and I did it for shock. And pretty much since I did that, I haven't really died to these ailments, but I set the keys of these flasks to keys I don't press, like the minus sign, the period, the comma, and the plus, so that way I never press them, but it just means if I ever do get shocked, if I ever get those ailments, they'll instantly be removed. I went for flasks that had 20 charges, and then I was trying to go for additional charges, but I didn't craft these all perfectly, but I'm just going with it, I'm rolling with it, and then I have a Quicksilver just occasionally for some movement speed. And I like it so far. We get freeze immunity from Arctic Armor, Skitter Bots for some damage, Flesh and Stone for blind, stuff like that. I think it's some nice quality life. That's what we're working with here, and I'm gonna get in and hopefully show you guys the Reef map with Baran. Quickly, I'll show you the true real quick, just so you can see what it is. There's our ascendancy points. We're grabbing phase acro, speed running to traps, grabbing power charges, going to this power charge. I decided this one was maybe too far away, so I anointed that one. Maybe I'll change in the future to actually travel there, but I don't know, man. That's a lot of travel. We'd get life on the way, so maybe it'd be okay. And then we're grabbing Eldritch Battery because, again, we don't have slave drivers. And so yeah, that's the tree so far. And let's go ahead and get into this red Baron and see what we can do. That is a reef map, and it's not exactly hard mods. Frenzy Charge on hit is probably the only hard mod there. The other ones aren't too bad. I mean, avoid elemental ailments is really annoying for clear because we're not freezing packs and whatnot, but it should be mostly fine. With our power charges up, I believe we're a little bit above 90 crit chance, so our crit's pretty solid. We get to close to 500 crit multi. All that stuff is pretty good, and I am kind of lagging here, which is not good, so hopefully that will stop. We don't die to lag. Hard to control what we're doing if we are just glitching all over the place. I got paranoid for a second there and thought I forgot to press record on this. I was like, I don't want to go kill this Baron I just set up without recording it. So I had to go check that real quick. It's a pretty dense map though. I think what I'll do is I'll go back and pick up map drops and stuff later on. I really just kind of want to showcase what it looks like for killing monsters throughout, and then Baron eventually. Ooh, geez. We got wrecked by... not too sure what. It felt like there was some sort of degen slow we were on, but I don't really know. It did demolish us pretty quick there, which was unfortunate. Wasn't really expecting to die. I haven't died too much on this character, so that was a bit of a bummer, but it'll be okay. We are just fine. The one thing about solely building around the Tinkerskin sustain is it is a little bit awkward for things like a boss fight where there's immunity phases and you have Maven attacking you with degens. That is, I think, is the main thing, that the main downside to building around Tinkerskin sustain and not like extra regen and stuff, and the fact that I've decided to be lazy and not have a life flask. That'll be maybe a little bit annoying in boss fights, but I think for the most part it should be fine, I think. We'll see if it is the case or not that I end up if I end up sticking with it. Say I get too annoyed in like a Maven or something, I will let you guys know, of course. So you can see there we just did our Orb Storms, our Hydrosphere, our Sniper's Mark. We just dropped it all at once. It's really a pretty quick cast because we have so many frenzy charges, so much cast speed. That's not too big of an issue. This is what I'm talking about though. Maven attacking us while we can't get sustained because the boss is, you know, hibernating. So we don't have anything to trigger our traps, which is really a worst case scenario. This boss fight arena is one of the ones that's like really small too, so we have nowhere to stand really, especially if she puts down degens and stuff. So hopefully she doesn't do that. Oh no, we're real low HP, so we need to trigger more traps. Yeah. Ooh, I think there's a good chance we die here, because we just don't have anywhere to stand, and I just jumped in the degen. It looks like we'll get the boss, actually, because he came back, thankfully. Alright, let's try to do Baron. We're probably going to run out of our frenzy charges before he spawns, but hopefully that won't be the end of the world. We'll put him in that corner. Ooh, that kind of hurt. Yeah, I should have let him get frenzy charges. He starts whipping those attacks out way faster than I was ready for. I didn't quite think about the fact that he does have frenzy charges. Those shotgun projectiles he was shooting out came a whole lot faster than I was expecting them to be. I think we should be able to finish him off though. So yeah, that's what that red tier Baron looks like. DPS is starting to be pretty decent. This is DPS I would imagine we would be able to take. We'd be able to take down things like Uber Elder, Uber Zeri, and we're still only on a 5 link. I think we'll at least be able to get about 40% more damage from Trap and Mine if we go for a 6 link with that. I think possibly slower projectiles could be even more damage for us the way Eye of Winter works, but I'll have to test that out when I actually get a 6 link setup going. For right now, it's just cluster traps for just having a nice spread pattern to the traps I'm throwing, along with having the additional traps. Huge damage support, trap support, because we need this in order to support a spell. Where it's not a damage link, it gives us a little bit of trap throw speed, which is nice. And then the last links are increased crit strikes for now, because I'm trying to get really consistent crits. I'm not sure if that's the best link or not, I'm just going with it. And then, of course, the charged traps. One thing about this charged trap thing that I thought was really cool, an ult quality for it, is we get trap trigger radius per power charge. So we're getting 90% increased trap trigger radius. I think that's helping us be able to have traps that are farther away from the boss still trigger, even though we don't have a ton of trap trigger area of effect. We only have a high explosives and a hair trigger, and it seems like the traps have triggered pretty consistently, and it's worked pretty well so far. Anyways, guys, that's the showcase for the character I'm working on right now. I am excited to make some big upgrades, like trying to get a 6-link Tinker skin, trying to get to slave drivers. This build definitely feels like it has the potential to go all the way towards the end game fights and take them down, so I'm a lot more inclined to invest into it and upgrade it to the min-max potential, and I'm pretty sure I'm definitely going to be making a build guide on it, because right now it's done well so far. I haven't had too many issues. Between going to 84 and doing a lot of deadly content, we've died 14 times. I think about 6 or 7 of those were in the campaign, because I was just Zerg rushing a bunch of stuff, and I'm not exactly great at not dying in the campaign. I do stupid things, but so far I think that's pretty good, considering my other characters weren't quite that tanky and weren't quite that good at surviving. So that's the character, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have an excellent rest of your day. Peace out. Stay safe out there. Have a good one, Exiles.